All right, what I want to do is show you how to use the Words Their Way online resources to create something that you could put in your remote learning program or even your in-person classroom. Just a really easy way to do it digitally. So I'm going to show you, first of all, I've already logged into my Pearson Toolkit and I'm going to drag this over. This is my on my computer, all the different sorts. I'm going to show you how I knew to name the sorts the way I named them. And what you'll get through this workshop with me is a template. Here you go, the template to create this. So it should be really easy. And frankly, I think it takes less time than it would take to go to the photocopier and make a photocopy. So we're going to do letter name alphabetic sort 2, picture sort for P, T, and M. I'm going to open up that file. And I'm going to take this off the screen as it opens. And meanwhile, I'm going to show you what I did. Oh, there we go. To come up with it. You'll see this is just the template that I created for you. Here's where you're going to put the directions. There are two different models depending on what you want to do. Remember, your kids aren't going to be looking at this in slideshow mode. They're going to be looking at it in draft mode so that you can drag and drop. So one is the materials will be at the bottom here, and on this one it'll be in this white space. Your choice. That's why I included two. All right, so we're doing P, T, and M. Here's the most important thing that I found was if you go to the Pearson kit, you'll notice I checked letter name alphabetic to check that stage, and it says home, assessment, sorts, games, videos, additional resources. I'm in sorts, and if you look, it says direction for consonants sorts. So if you open that up, this is where it tells you the sorts numbers 1 to 7. Now for the stage, I forget what number they go up to, but way past that. So this is the first group of sorts. And so I'm just going to pick up these directions here just so that I have them as a reminder. So I'm copying them, I'm taking them over to my PowerPoint, and I'm going to my direction page. You might at a later day say, oh, I don't need this, or maybe I'm going to put it in the instructor notes on the PowerPoint. Whatever it is. But there you go. It's in the directions now. So the next thing we're going to do is get the sort itself. So we're going to drag this off the screen. I'm going to close this out. And we're doing P, T, and M. So I'm going to click on that sort. Now, because I have the template already set up, what I want to do is put basically this worksheet in my template. Let me show you how I'm going to do that. I'm using a Mac. And I'm using my screenshot tool. On a Mac, it's Shift Command, and you could do number 4, but if you hold it down with the number 4, you're going to have to adjust the size every time. That's a pain for me. If you press down on number 5, so Shift Command 5 at the same time, you're going to get a box, and every time you press on that box, it's going to be the same size, which I find really helpful. Now, initially, you have to I do these, they are going to be two different sizes, a size for this and then a size for these. I also want to make sure I'm not getting any of this black border. I just know that will look bad when I do my slide. So we go just like this and press return. Now I have a folder that's my screenshots and everything goes automatically there. And I make sure before I start doing this that folder is empty. The reason being, then I can just drag and drop all of these images in at once. I'm not worried about anything else. There we go. Now I'm going to do 5 again, Shift Command 5, and I'm going to come down here and I'm going to resize. And now I'm going through all these pictures, making sure I'm not getting any of the black border. You want to be a little careful you don't cut off the picture. I know that's been an issue in the past for me. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could get rid of the background, just keep the picture and make it transparent, but I don't have that kind of time. Getting all of these pictures. See, kind of want to make sure you're not on those black lines, but honestly that you're close because some of the pictures will take up the whole space. You have to buy the Words Their Way books to have access to the digital resource. There's usually a code in the back to do it. If you buy a used copy, be aware of the fact the code may no longer be valid, so it may not be worth it. Frankly, of all of the resources that I work with, one of the ones that I absolutely do buy new and make sure I have every edition is Words Their Way. I think it's a very well done resource, and it's something that I just always want to stay current on. All right, so now we're going back to our slide here, and I'm going to go into my screenshots. There we go. So this is where I just have a folder that says screenshots. This is something you would definitely have to figure out because you don't want to, if you do it all in your downloads or your uploads, you just want to make sure you can just easily select all, drag and drop them. That's 18 pictures I'm about to drag and drop. Excellent. So the biggest thing is double checking first. Yep, they're all there. Now I put these boxes in case you had to write in the letters, but in this one you don't have to because the letters are there. So I'm going to get rid of them and then I'm going to select all. You'll notice I did the table is the background. It's not an image that's on the slide because when I want to be able to select all, I want to be able to adjust things without it messing up my background. So the biggest trick I can tell you is that you don't want to work one by one with any of these images. You want to select all and use as many of them as you can. So now I'm resizing them. Let's get this right for you. So resizing them, now I can drag and drop them here to the bottom. And if I can't decide if I want to use the other once I get them all down here, I'll be able to just copy them again and put them on the other slide in case I like that formatting more. Again, you'll just figure out which one you like and stick with one. You drag and drop them all down here. I try to line them up, but then I try to remind myself I have a lot of other planning to do. I usually like to put the letters over here on the side. Now, in the beginning, when you're working with this with students, you're probably going to have to do it whole class. That's why I'm giving you the very early letter name alphabetic ones, because my assumption is your students probably may need that, but most likely many of them won't, and they'll be further along. So you can use these really easy sorts in the beginning to teach students how to do it whole class, how to turn it in, but eventually the students will get very independent with this work. Now you have a sort ready to go. And again, if you want to change the size, if you want to relocate them, try selecting all. It just makes your life so much easier. And now you have a sort. And then you can put it in whatever learning management system you're using for your students. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Again, to me, Words Their Way is a huge resource, generally speaking, and specifically right now for how to individualize instruction. All right, thanks so much for listening.